Hey Flush Tube, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh here on a wet and dreary Saturday afternoon. I think it's the 11th of October with a non-floss tube. I thought a way of being productive but avoiding procrastinating all the other things on my to-do list, I might do a bit of a kitted up video. Planning on a new start along with my friend Christine, a start along, stitch along. We're both going to start Artsy Housewife charts a Labour weekend, which is a couple of weekends away. I'm away in Queenstown next weekend, so if I don't get it kitted up this weekend, then good chance it wouldn't be ready for Labour weekend. We did a start along, stitch along the beginning of winter we both stitched Forest for the Trees by Ink Circles. We used the cordful floss with different fabrics and we finished them together when she visited, it must have been the end of July or whenever, I think it was the end of July we finished them. And then we had talked about doing an Artsy Housewife. I was thinking about Byron Blackbird, but then I decided it's October, and this October Blooms has been sitting in my stash for such a long time. And I already have a pomegranate piece on because Byron Blackbird has pomegranates in it, but I started the pomegranate sampler. So I can't remember what Christine's going to start. Just completely forgotten. But I'm going to do October Bloom. So I think you'll be the right way up. You're upside down on my really weird setup. This is my second time. My car mount, what do you call it? I've got basically my phone's attached to a magnetic car mount thing attached to a monitor on my dining room table, and it has already fallen off. And I took the screen, what do you call this thing? Not screen protector, what's this called? Case. Took this off in case this was just stopping, because it's meant to be like MagSafe compatible, but I'm just wondering whether it wasn't strong enough, but I took that off anyway. But if it crashes, I've got no protection, which really freaks me out. So I might actually just put like a tea towel there or something, just in case it does drop, because it is, a $2,000 iPhone. Okay, so ignore that. I think if it falls, that should stop it from breaking. Whatever. I need to sort out a better way of filming overhead. This is why I don't do these very often. So it's been a couple of years since I do a kitted up video. This one has, October Blooms has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 colours. It's got a classic colour works and 6 Gentle Arts and then 5 DMCs. Made a note, Tiger Lily, which it says, Tiger Lily variegates from gold to green. You can choose either the gold or the green. There's 2 colours suggested for the DMC alternative, or use randomly throughout. I'm figuring that's probably the leaves, maybe, because it does ask for 2 skeins. It might be the lighter colour in the leaves and in the I'm guessing. It does, the model was stitched on 36 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works. I'm going to use a 36 count, probably a Weeks Dye Works alabaster that I have in my stash. I figure it's got a little bit more colour than what that model looks like, but right, probably going to use that. They did stitch two floss threads over 2 fabric threads. I would only do 1. So when they've called for 2 or 3 skeins, I think as long as I'm using like an 8 metre skein instead of a 5 yard skein, which I will be in most cases, then I should be fine with 1 skein. For the one where it calls for 3, I imagine that you just go into the 3rd Gentle Arts skein. I think Gentle Arts is 5 yards, right? So 8 metres, which is my Tom and Lily, definitely should be more than enough. And also, when it comes to the green, I've got some really nice sort of yellowy, olivey greens in Victorian Motto, and they're like 12, 16, 20 yard skeins, so I'm going to have plenty. Excuse me. So we'll see what we've got. I might end up using DMC 310 because you need a little extra black. We'll see. I'm getting a bit low in DMC black, so that's okay. But yeah, I thought I'll just go through and kit this up, because I know some of you mention you get overwhelmed with kitting up but this is a good project because you don't need lots of you don't need 3 or 4 shades of one colour. You just sort of need to find a couple of greens that go nicely together, some lovely autumnal colours. So I'm not as worried about it being perfect as long as I find a nice orangey red, which I love orangey red, you know, for the red, and I find a couple of nice autumny colours. I think I will be fine. Don't even care if the pot ends up not being blue. Blue's not my favourite colour, so especially that shade of blue, which is like my school uniform. Okay, this is a photocopy that I scribble all over it. I do have a copy of the chart as well, so I can have a look to see what symbol goes where, but I will try not to flash that up for you too often. So I'm just going to make a little note because I don't have colour names. I mean, I do, like tomato, I know what that is, and I know what sort is. Okay. But I'll just, make a quick note of where things are, like what the big things are, like in the roof, for example. The roof is 3031, well, that's kind of that darker colour, is it darker brown? So that's the roof, and the other roof colour is the 5. Okay, so it's black and brown. That's roof, so I'm not too worried about black. The red is obviously the door and the flowers. The big leaves, the green leaf, the dark green leaves are 3. So that's the dark green, and pollywog is that colour that's in those leaves. That's the lighter green, light leaves. What was the one that I said? Oh, tiger lily. Where's tiger lily? That's the heart. So just being careful not to show you the chart on screen. Okay, so the tiger lily is this sort of olivey, I guess they did say goldy green colour in here. So it's in that colour there. It must be in the house. So it is. It's the viney colour in the house. It's inside of inside of these flowers. It's on outlining those flowers. Colour, tiger lily is kind of in the flowers. And the other house, the colour for the house is, this is the main house colour. And it's obviously other places as well, like the grey is in here, it's in these flowers here. And then where's pumpkin pie? It's that moon colour, moon symbol. Where is pumpkin pie? Okay, so pumpkin pie is that lighter colour in the flowers. What else do I need to know about tomatoes? Pretty clear. Black's pretty clear. Where is the 6? Probably not that much. Okay, it's in there. It's kind of this creamy colour here. And then we've got 676, which is in a lot of the flowers, I think. So it's, it's a creamy beige colour. Is that what it's called? This one here. So it's in here and in here. This is what I normally do. I have a quick look at the chart and kind of make a decision about, which, if I was only going to pick a few colours to use fancy flosses, or if something appeared like 20 stitches, you go, do we really need a fancy floss, or is DMC going to be fine? So the last symbol is this dark, it's this dark colour, which is in, what is it? 820. Okay, so dark blue. Yeah, it's like a navy. It's a navy colour. Okay, that'll do for now. Okay, what I'm going to do is just, I guess, find some colours that I like. So I am not as organised as I'd like to be, so I'll probably edit the heck out of it. So I'm just going to have a quick look. I've got a lot of my Tom and Lily. This is where I've started keeping the months. I don't know that any of these colours are going to work because they are pretty. they're kind of too pretty. They're kind of too cool colours. They're not very autumnal at all, with the exception of potentially I could use this, you know, one of the greys maybe. You know, I could pull out one of these. They're a bit lavendery, but anyway, I'm going to put them aside for now. Where are my reds? Here are my reds. Another red there. Okay, I want a tomatoey red. My light's terrible today, so this is like a Victorian motto. Is that getting a little bit too orange? I kind of think that's a contender. You know me, I love orange, so we'll take that one out. Put this one back. I don't know. That was Oh Scarlet that I just used for project I just finished. One of my little samplers. The Margaret Thomas sampler. These are very blue, 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 blue. Oh, that's too variegated, that's too pale. I quite like that one as well. That one's definitely quite orange, right? It's a Victorian motto. This one's also a Victorian motto. It's got 14 yards. I feel like, even though I love this colour, it might be a little orange, whereas this one just takes that a little bit more into the red, like a tomatoey colour maybe. Okay, we're going to go with this one for now. Keep that one there, put this one back. Done with the reds. Navy was easy because I already had a navy pulled that was also used in Margaret Thomas. So that would just be my navy. So I should probably write these down. Okay, whatever. So this stage, my tomato is a Victorian motto. This one's going to be a Victorian motto, dark navy. That's two colours. Black at this stage, we'll stick with DMC unless we find heaps of black. We need a grey. Here are my greys. I don't have that many greys. So we're looking for soot. So soot is a bluey grey. It's in the roof, but in the fine line. It's in the, these look like it's completely different colours, but it's in the window panes and it's in these pots. So the pots definitely look bluer than the window panes. Okay, it did fall off, so I'm glad I put that down because it did have to catch it. Anyway, it weren't quite the right way up. I'm actually heading back towards that orange, you know. I'm going to take it out again. I feel like if I find tomato, right, because I know I could use, I've got a half a skein of Gentle Art tomato, but if I bring, let's see, that's quite orange. And that's quite blue, it's a bit bluer. Okay, not 100% sure on that yet. Maybe this one. No, that's definitely quite different. Where are my oranges? Maybe I need an actual orange. My oranges are very orange. Do I have enough of that? Do I have enough of Gentle Art tomato? I don't know. I really love that colour. I could do with something. I could do with that. This in like a 20-metre skein, to be fair. I probably have enough of this. Okay, I'm going back to the call for, I guess I can get another skein if I really wanted to, but so much for cutting it up. But the orange is like, there's not that much of it, and probably half a skein's fine, given I'm only doing one strand. You know, I've got the door, flower, flower, and around there. Okay, I'm going to do the, crossing that out. I'm doing Gentle Arts tomato. Okay, I need to put these back away. If I don't put them back on, I will then end up in a muddle, which I already am in. Okay, whatever. Gone back to the call for. Okay. We were talking about the grey when my whatchamacallit fell off, weren't we? Do I have soot? My soot's way darker. Gentle Arts soot. I've got two partial soots. So it is this kind of, the light's terrible, I apologise. It's this sort of, well, it's what, equivalent of 414, right? So I feel like that would have been a good substitution, Cocoa from Tom and Lily, but I don't have very much. That's too variegated, that's too blue. Doesn't have to be the same. You know what? That's actually a really good substitution. Or I've got, what's this one? Oh, Ampersand by, I do like that one. Is that too grey? Whereas Anthracite still gives that bluey tinge. Okay, I'm going to do Anthracite. I do love this colour by Tom and Leigh. That should be plenty. And it's a colour I can order again if I had to. Yeah, I'm going to do Anthracite. So, Soot is going to be Anthracite by Tom and Lily. Okay. Right, back to that paler grey. The paler grey was the main house instead of toasted barley. That's too blue. That's too... It's too close. Okay, I'm going to have a look at what 3023 looks like in DMC. I've got them here. Here we go. Mine's quite green. I don't want it to be that colour. So given I don't have that many greys, I figure this one is too pale. Yes, too pale and too blue. And that is, mine's quite green, my 3023. I don't know how old it is. That feels far enough away. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to use Chartreuse from Tom and Lily for my house colour. So that was going to be, so Chartreuse, and that is Tom and Lily. So we've done that one. We've got that one. We've got that one. We've got that one. Let's do the greens. I am looking for the darker green. Bit light. That's a good option. Bit dark. I kind of think that that's going to be a really good option. Okay. I've got 20 yards of this, so I stocked up on Victorian Motto years ago. So if we go with that one for now as the dark green, then I need, which is, you know, it's everywhere. I need this kind of, what do they call it? The lighter leaf colour, which is Polywog. I do have Polywog. Classic Colourworks. So, which my Polywog, oh, it's on a different card. From when I did, this is the Forest for the Trees. Polywog, here we go. Polywog is quite that colour. So that's a potential, is to just use Polywog. I don't have that much there. Do I have more of that? Do I have any more Polywog? Let's have a look. I probably should organise this. I do have heaps of Polywog. Okay, look at the different colours though. I think this is the colour, like the Polywog I use for Forest for the Trees. See how different they are? Different dye lots, right? So I will just use the one I got heaps of. Okay, I need Polywog because I have it. Polywog, and we'll put this one back. Okay, it's that one. And pumpkin pie is just a nice pumpkin colour, really. Kind of want to be a little bit apricot-y. That's probably a bit, yeah, I don't love that one. Oh, they call for 3853. Let's have a look. Let's see what 3853 looks like. I like that colour. Okay. That's a really good substitution, actually. Do I have one? Do I want something slightly more? Apricot-y. That one's got quite a bit of brown in it, the one I just showed you. Whereas this one here is similar to the bit at the top that I like, but it doesn't have that brown. It's yeah, so we might just go with this one. Okay, decided. So pumpkin is gonna be curcuma. Black's fine, we'll just go with DMC. 3031, so we just need a dark brown. I have my browns. Dark brown, I think we'll just go for, what's the darkest brown I have? Either, oh, these are both the same colour. I've split it off at one stage. So probably, do I just go for 3031? I think, okay, 3031 is a little bit darker than that. Do I, so we've got that in the roof. It's mostly in the roof, isn't it? 3031. So it's in that flower. Down there, the roof. I think that's it. I don't think it's anywhere else. Nowhere else significant. So, do I have another brown? I think this isn't dark enough, so I'm just going to use called for, but obviously I will buy another skein. I probably have one in my, so I'm going to use the called for. I need to buy a skein of 3031. I'll probably need to buy two to be fair. Yeah, I do need that dark brown. I don't really have any over-dyed dark browns. Okay, I need my yellows. My yellows and oranges. Okay, I need this bundle of joy. Let's look at, or maybe we go back to the greens and see if I've got like a, something I can do here. It doesn't have to be the same. Kind of feel like that might work. It's far enough away from that green. It's got the green, of course it's got less yellow in it, but when I look at this and I think about the vine, there is, it does have quite a bit of yellow. They suggest, using, if you did the DMC, use two colours. This is my best option at the moment. I'll put that one there. I wouldn't get quite the same, it hasn't got the same strong variation as presumably that Tiger Lily has in the Gentle Arts. But I could manipulate it and potentially, we shall see, pick out a yellow and add some yellow, who knows, we'll see. See what that looks like. Okay, well, let's do the other colours. So we've got these two, okay, this one and this one. So we want a light yellow and a kind of caramelly colour. I do actually know this is darker, but I kind of like it. That one there might be a little bit on the, see, that might be one that I'd pull in. You know what? I'm going to pull this one out. I'm going to add this in with this. And when I stitch that house vine, I might kind of manipulate these two because I quite like those together. So they, Tiger Lily, I'm going to use the Victorian motto. The Victorian motto, whatever that one is, the kind of, what would you call that? Yellow green? Yellow green plus the cognac, which is Tom and Lily. So I've got two for that one. Okay, that's going to be that one. Get rid of those two. And then I've already forgotten what I was doing. These two. Okay. I need a paler colour. So we might look at this one. This almost looks like it's a complete dupe. Okay, Bleu from Tom and Lily. Yeah, all the Needle Necessities. Nah. I'll do this one. Can do that one for that. So 745. This one is a Tom and Lily Bleu. And then I need a nice, whatever that colour is. I like that. It might be a little dark. Not that it really matters. It's too apricot-y. You know what? I'm just going to do that. I know it's darker than that. It's a 676. This is the beige and the flowers. So some of these flowers are just going to have a little bit more colour. My fabric has a little bit more colour. So actually going up a little bit and picking something a little bit more caramelly, I think will look really nice. Unless I just check my browns. So this is a possible... Did I say that was too peach? Yeah, I think that's too peach. Let's take this one off, because this colour could be in my browns. Just have a quick look at my, what I call the big three, you know, the classics, the weeks, the gentle arts. Is there anything else that I might like? That's just very similar. I was drawn to it, so I feel like that's probably a sign that, because I was drawn to it, that like I went, oh, I like that colour, and it's like, look how similar that is. It's so similar. And that was Gold Leaf. So I feel like that's the best option I have. So if I just get to stitch it and I decide now, I can either, if I decide it's too caramelly, I can always either just grab the DMC, or I can have a look at my silk. Or actually I've got a bunch of projects cut it up. So if I really, really decided this was too caramel, I can go back through my other projects and see if there's something a bit more this colour. So at this stage, this is going to be Caramel by Tom and Lily. I got that one done. That one's just going to be DMC 310. Okay, so next up, and just do a bit of a quick little thread toss on here. So we've got the greens that go together. So that's the leaves. And then we've got these colours are going to be to substitute the tiger lily and the vine on the house and stuff. Then I've got the pale yellow. I've pulled that caramelly colour, which is going up a couple of notches. What I'm not sure about is whether it looks okay with that pumpkin-y colour. Instead of pumpkin, tomato is called for. I quite like that. Also this kind of, for me, amps up the Octoberness, right? Amps up the, not the northern hemisphere, the northern hemisphere. We've got navy, which is fine. It's pretty generic. I've gone with something a little more grey instead of that soot. I'm quite happy with that. They look nice together. My house colour is probably slightly bluer, but I like it in that it kind of has, these have a similar tone to them. So that's what I did. I've kitted that up. So I'll be starting this in a couple of weeks. And thanks for coming along and watching this. I need to sort out this better setup. This just isn't working so great for me. I need to sort out how to do that. But anyway, scribbly. I'm super looking forward to getting this started. It's another big house, but you know, we love a big house. Take care. Thanks for coming along. Any questions? I don't know if I can answer them, but you're welcome to shoot them at me. Nice little rainbow here. Looking forward to getting this started in a couple of weeks. And I'll see you guys on my regular floss tube. Don't let your needles rust. Ciao.